How to care for dog's ear infection. Dog-proof your house. While many objects may seem harmless to your dog or you don't expect them to be interested in them, it is best to keep small objects and human toys off of the floor or any reachable areas where your dog will be spending time. There are many products in your house and yard that are dangerous to dogs and should be kept well out of reach by locking them in a storage area or putting them somewhere the dog doesn't have access to. Some of the more common ones include household cleaners, insecticides, fertilizers, and mouse and rat poisons. Both house plants and plants in your yard or garden can be toxic, including rhododendrons, chrysanthemum, and oleander. Identify the plants in your home and garden and then contact your veterinarian or look online at sites such as the ASPCA and Pet Poison Helpline for complete lists of pet toxins. Also, medicines, both human and animal, can be toxic to your dog, especially if consumed in large amounts. Some of the foods that we eat, including chocolate, onions, raisins and grapes, and even sugarless chewing gums, can be toxic to dogs as well and should be kept well out of reach. Give your dog a designated area. Before you bring your dog home, one of the first things to decide on is where your dog will be spending their time. Think about what areas of the house they will be allowed to access and what areas you want to keep off limits. These rules should be enforced from the very beginning to avoid confusion. Your dog will need designated areas to eat and sleep and plenty of space to play and exercise. Initially, you may want to limit the areas the dog has access to so that you can watch them closely until you get to know them and their behavior better. The kitchen or another area that is convenient to clean is a good place to set up food and water bowls. Once you decide on a place, you will want to keep them there at all times. Next, decide where your dog will sleep. Some people like to have their dog sleep in the bed with them, while others prefer to get a doggy bed or crate for them to sleep separately. Be aware that once a dog is allowed to sleep in your bed, it can be much more difficult to get them to sleep in their own. The size and activity level of your dog will determine the space needed for play and exercise. Usually, the larger the dog, the more space they will need. Purchase all the supplies you will need. Your dog may come with some of these things, but you will need a collar and a leash that are appropriate for your dog's size, and a toy or two for starters. You will also need a food and water bowl, as well as food. If you know what food your dog has been eating, it is best to continue feeding them that same food, at least initially. Coming into a new home can be stressful for any dog, and changing foods may add to this stress. If you decide to change foods later, you can, but be sure to do so gradually over the course of 5 to 7 days. This will help to avoid problems such as diarrhea or tummy upsets that can occur when changing foods too quickly.